Hey, welcome back. We're talking about an amazingly important topic today. We're talking about feeding Lucas County children. Our guests are Tony Sebenek, who is the executive director of that initiative, and the author and the architect of lots and lots of stories, which are bringing focus to this important issue, is Patrick Timmis. And you are working with the Toledo Free Press.
Correct.
And Toledo Free Press and Bridges have joined once again to highlight an issue important to this community, and this time the issue is feeding Lucas County children. Can't think of a better one. Thank you so very much. And we were talking as we went away about you're just having such a difficult time going in and seeing these kids as a journalist. You really
Right.
wanted to be part of the system that helped
Yeah.
get rid of this. And we talked a bit about the Churchill event, which I've been corrected by my director, and I've been told that the locations are actually in Maumee and Perrysburg. Maumee and Perrysburg. But you'll find them. Everybody knows Walt Churchill. So it's overwhelming to you. That experience was overwhelming to you. That experience was one that made you wonder how we got here. But the good news is that we can do something about it.
Right.
We can do something about it. Okay.
Yeah, that what's really exciting, Donnie, that I enjoy when we go out and visit and see how things are going is we like to sit down with the kids when they're eating, and then they just start talking to you, and some of them just become a real jabberbox. They're enjoying it. They get a good meal. They tell you about their home life and everything else. And you can soon find out that, excuse me, that they really appreciate that meal. They know that they're going to get a good meal that day. So they're kind of excited about that.
They're getting a good meal. Do they appear to be, I don't want to say thriving, because you clearly can't thrive if you're not eating. But are they doing more than just making it? Are they living their lives, Patrick? How did you see them? Were they just being kids?
You know, they were.
Really?
They were kids. They were having fun. They were having fun with each other. But they had a full belly.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were eating.
Which they didn't have before.
Right. So some of them don't.
Yeah. Did kids talk to you about eating out of the garbage?
Yeah, well, let's kind of back. Some of my first experiences was the kids will go through line, they get their food, and then some of the kids will come up and say, I didn't get the sandwich, or I didn't get this, or I didn't get that. But really, when you take a look at it, what they've done is they stuck the sandwich in their pocket.
In their pockets. Oh.
And really what they're doing, and after you get to sit and talk to them, you find out that it's really for later on that day is why they took it. And that's why they're coming back for that extra sandwich. In these discussions, and it's amazing the things that we hear from these kids, but yeah, they're going to go out and there's not that much food in the house, so they are going to go out and look for something. You know, go to the neighbors, see what they've got, anywhere they can to see what they can pick up on.
Find a way to eat.
I remember one young gentleman, he was a senior, and he was volunteering helping. He didn't believe when we talked about the dumpsters and stuff and the kids eating. And we happened to go by one location over there on Detroit and Bancroft. And I said, watch this. We pulled over, and we saw about a 15-year-old boy do exactly that. Right. And ever since, Chris has never said a word because he was pretty pessimistic.
About the whole thing.
The whole thing.
And
yeah.
any child can come through this project. Is that right?
Anybody.
Any child?
We will feed anybody from...
Anybody,
any
not
of these
just
kids.
children.
Right. Well, we feed everybody from 1 to 18.
1 to 18, okay.
We concentrate on the children. I mean, we have a lot of good programs in this county that concentrate on the senior citizens
and adults,
the adults
absolutely.
and things like that.
Absolutely.
But we go after those kids.
So how does somebody find a location that they might go to eat?
Well, they can go to the website. The website's got all the information on it.
Okay.
And that is that, feedlucaschildren.org. They could go there. It's got all the sites listed. We were trying to put that phone number out there in more places. We've done a lot of going to a lot of the churches and the different centers and getting information out there.
Is it all day? Is it 9 to 5?
Well,
is it just lunch? Is
the
it
thing
dinner?
about it is, Donnie, what we do is we go into each neighborhood and we develop a relationship with a group, like either a church or a school or another we have a lot of nonprofits that work with us. And then we take a look at what can be set up for that summer, and then what else can go with that meal. And in a lot of cases, educational components. So as we help set up all these locations, one might be where they're going to supply a breakfast and a lunch. Some places are just a lunch. Some are a lunch and maybe a snack, because the kids are there till like 3:30 getting tutored. And of course, before we send them out the door, we give them a snack.
Give them a snack, yeah.
And what's really interesting is we're doing a lot of dinners. We're going into the parks at night. Oh my goodness. Oh,
you're going into the parks at night?
Oh my goodness, yes.
Really?
It's just like last night we were at Gunkel Park.
Yeah.
And we had a group of little kids that ran across Door Street. Oh my goodness, the wheels squeaked, or squealed. A couple of the kids almost got hit.
Oh my goodness.
But the fact of the matter is, it was kind of raining, and the only thing on those kids' minds was that food.
And they knew who you were. And
they
knew
come
who
every
you were
day, every night.
Really?
Monday. See, we supply these meals Monday through Friday.
So, and where were you? You were at Gunkel Park doing this?
At Gunkel
in the park.
Yep.
Okay, in the park.
And it was like 7:45. The kids knew that we feed the children from 7 to 8. They knew they were late. That's the only thing on their mind was getting that meal.
What people I think don't really get is that hunger affects so many things in your life. You don't learn. You can't learn if you're hungry. You can't focus if you're hungry. You don't thrive if you're hungry.
And Doni, that's something I've been talking to some of the leaders of some of these nonprofits that work with kids, that partner with FLCC, and that's another common theme is, if we didn't have the food, these kids aren't going to be learning. They're not going to be thriving. Right. I was talking to Anthony Johnson with Kids Unlimited, and they do a lot with getting kids ready for the OAT. They really want to make sure they are getting prepped for that.
Right.
And one thing Anthony keeps coming back to is, without food, these kids, they can't be sharp, they can't be learning. And he was telling me just the other day, 13 kids they had come through with them, 5th grade boys, and when they went and took the OAT, and they were a rowdy bunch, they didn't want to be there. They were boys.
Yeah, and they're 15.
No, they are fifth graders.
Fifth
actually.
Graders. Okay, younger than that.
And they went through the program. They went and scored 42 points higher on the OAT than any other school in the Toledo area.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's so amazing. We don't want to leave, and we've got just a few minutes left, but we really want to talk about the event at Church Hills again. How does that help?
Well, it's the biggest thing is it's going to draw a lot of awareness, and that's what we're looking for, Doni. We just need more of the population to realize that this situation does exist, and what Church Hills is offering here is just a great opportunity for us to get the word out, because actually 90%, we feel 90% of Lucas County is not aware of what we're doing and how many kids are being affected.
Totally agree.
They don't know.
Totally agree with you. So from July 3rd to the 17th, if we're shopping at Church Hills, we will have the opportunity to round up to the next dollar. And that difference goes to your organization?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we'll help you do what?
Well, it's interesting. Some people think that we need food donations, but actually, in order to have that high quality of a meal for these children, we purchase 100% of all of our food. We don't take food donations.
You don't take food donations?
No.
Okay, that's great. That's really cool.
Because we're going to offer these kids the best meal that they're going to get.
And people have an opportunity to volunteer as well. Don't forget the Roundup Hunger event. But I also don't want you to leave today without understanding that you can volunteer. And I saw this cool thing on your website. It said Time, Talent, Treasure. Time, Talent, Treasure. Those are the kinds of things. Talk about that for me quickly. We just had a family call and said they've got a 4-year-old, or a 4th grader, a 7th grader, and a 12th grader. The family wants to come in and help. Oh, what a blessing that is, because we're going to have them go to one of our locations where the little kids are just mixing with all the other kids in the educational stuff. Those older kids in that family are going to help work with some of the groups of kids, either in reading or if it's recess,
things like that. And then mom will help with directing and coordinating. So we can use about anybody in any way.
Yeah.
Just someone coming in one day a week and reading to the kids during library time. Oh,
makes all the difference
it's
in
a
the world.
blessing.
It makes all
is.
the difference in the world, and that's one of the things that we always want to talk to you about here, is that you can make a difference in so many ways that cost you nothing more than an hour and your time, an hour and your focus and your intention. As we leave today, what would you leave people with from your experience? I mean, you really are looking at this from a couple of unique vantage points that most of us don't get to see it from. What would you leave us with?
You know, it's interesting that you can look at the numbers, and ultimately a number is a number, and then you can go and be there, and you realize these are kids, and they need help.
They need help. And we can help.
And we can help.
And we can help. Toni, thank you so much for doing this for this community, and now I will forever have that image of that child looking in a dumpster to eat in my head. So I'll be over to help you. And Patrick, thanks so much for bringing focus to this. And a special thanks to the Free Press for focusing on this very, very important community issue and allowing Bridges to be a partner in that discussion. We're going to go away now, but we'll be back in just a moment.